I'm Pat Pavelka. Today's activity is a center, and the center is called Top 10. This center can be used with any curriculum area that you're working with. Here's a list up top. It can work with your reading, your writing, your science, social studies, math. We could even use this with holidays and seasons. It'll be a center that you'll be able to use across the board with anything that you're working with. So the first thing to look at with this center is this first line. Ignore this for a moment. Top 10 blank. Whatever you're teaching goes in that blank. And the center begins as a list center. For example, let's look at a younger and then we'll look at an older. For a younger example, top 10, let's say you're working with the farm. Top 10 farm animals. Top 10 products from the farm. Top 10 things that you would find on a farm. Let's take a middle grade. Let's say you're working with magnets. Top 10 things that magnets attract. Let's say you're working with landforms. Top 10 landforms. Let's say in an older classroom you're working with the Revolutionary War. Top 10 things associated with the Revolutionary War. Top 10 things that led to the Boston Tea Party. So you see, whatever you're teaching, whether you're kindergarten, middle school, you just put here. So step one, topic, students give you a list of 10 things that have to do with that topic. Now, we really want to avoid that line at our desk, or those students saying, I'm done now, what do I do? That's where the rest of this comes in. When students are done with their list of 10 things, they know what to do. They will not come up to you. Because now it says, I'm done with my list. What do I do? Here are their options. Now, some of these options are better for youngers, some are better for olders. This list will be very long by the end of the year because as you're working with different things in your curriculum, you add them to the list. So for example, take your list and draw a picture for each item on your list. Take your list and write 2 words that describe each item. We're really working now with adjectives. Take your list and put them in ABC order. So you see, a lot of times these are old curriculum things that you might have done a week ago, a month ago, but because it's here, it's cyclical. So students can always go back and practice some of the things that you've already worked with. Take your list and take the words in those lists and use each word in a sentence. Now, you can make this harder. Your sentence has to have a complex predicate and a simple subject. So again, you see, it depends on your grade level. Take your words and categorize them. Make your words longer. Here's your working with words. Make them plural. Add a suffix, add a prefix. Add an ing ending or an ed ending. And look at the last thing on your list. Students are incredibly creative. Take your list and do something with it. And they'll really surprise you with some of the things that they'll do with their list. So again, any grade level, any curriculum area, fabulous. Let's now zoom a little bit and look at some of the samples. And you'll see samples from 1st grade through 6th grade. Let's look at some examples now. We'll start with youngers and move on up to olders. This says top 10 things that live in the ocean. For example, a fish, octopus, shark. This child then took this list and used the words and sentences. Fish live in the ocean. I like little baby octopus. Let's come down here. This is items that a fireman might need. A fire hose, a pole, special clothes. And then here, the child took those words and put them in sentences. Fire alarms ring when there's a fire. And let's move to the bottom. Here's a younger. Notice that there's very little writing. It's more labels. We're working with food, corn, banana, apple, pears. Let's come over here now and we're going to look at some 6th grade and 4th grade examples. These 2 6th graders were reading the novel Charlie Skedaddle, a novel about the Civil War. Their assignment is top 10 things that you learned about Charlie Skedaddle from this chapter. And so you'll know right away whether they read the chapter or not and have understanding based on what they wrote. This child knows that he's part of the group called the Bowery Boys. This child says Charlie's rival gang is called the Dead Rabbits. Let's jump down here. Top 10 things about pilgrims. So here's the word Indian and then a quick picture, and over here are 2 adjectives. So Indians, people, chiefs, crops, corn, Mayflower, boat, Christopher Columbus. The child then put them in alphabetical order. He then used them in sentences. This child, top 10 pilgrims, same classroom. Here's the list, here's the word, and then there are 2 adjectives that follow the word. And then this child took each word and put them in categories in terms of descriptive words for each one. So let's close up on top 10 now. Top 10. It's an easy, versatile center that you'll just have a great time with it in your classroom. Have fun.